Holy crap, guys, we got our first look at Darth Vader and what he's going to look like in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Let's check this out. What's up, everybody? It's Josh coming to you from Nerd Vengers Tower, and man, what a crazy day of nerdy news. Just dropped an insane video, and yes, it's insane as well, all about Doctor Strange 2 Into the Multiverse of Madness. I saw this pop up as we were finishing up that video. Crazy report here. Exclusive images and details on Hayden Christensen's return as Darth Vader in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. This is over on StarWarsNewsNet.com. I do believe this is an exclusive that they got, and oh, baby, is this pretty exciting. So let's get into this. Let's look at what's going on here. It says here, last December, Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy went a bit off-brand by divulging brief story details about the upcoming Obi-Wan Kenobi series, including Hayden Christensen's return to play Darth Vader. Not Anakin Skywalker, but Darth Vader for the rematch of a century. Her words, okay? The series has been filming in Los Angeles. I can't even speak. I'm so damn excited. Has been filming in Los Angeles since April, and we have some exclusive images and details regarding the return of Darth Vader, which provide at least some explanation why they brought back Hayden Christensen to play him. Warning, potential spoilers below. Before we get into the details, please be considerate of your fellow Star Wars fans and don't publicly share this information, as a lot of fans prefer to go into new programming fresh. That is why we didn't use the images as the main photo, nor mention specific details in the article title. Look, I'll try to do my best on the YouTube thumbnail and title here, but come on, man, everybody's gonna read this freaking article and everybody's gonna watch this freaking video. Come on, man. Okay, on to the good stuff. In last December's Lucasfilm showcase, Kathleen Kennedy made it a point to say Hayden Christensen will be returning to the role of Darth Vader, not Anakin. So the $66 million question, I like that, to which we now have the answer, is why is Lucasfilm bringing back Hayden Christensen to play Darth Vader? After all, Vader is behind a mask and voiced by James Earl Jones, and they used imposing figures Spencer Wilding and Daniel Napros to physically play the Sith Lord in Rogue One. So why go back to Christensen now? The reason is because we will be seeing Darth Vader without his mask in the series. We have exclusive photos from the set of Obi-Wan Kenobi and had artist renderings created so we can share them with you. We also have never before seen concept art of Vader made for the series. The connective theme between all of this is understanding why Christensen is back as Vader specifically. So here's the images here. Okay, so this is a sort of rendering of it right here. Looks pretty crazy to me. These like implants in him in the flesh and everything like that, right? This is new and never before seen concept art of Darth Vader specifically made for the upcoming Disney Plus series Obi-Wan Kenobi. This image is not a render. It is exactly as it was provided. We can't confirm whether it was made beyond the concept stage or whether it has made it beyond the concept stage, but with Hayden Christensen returning to play Vader, it will actually be him this time around and not the mannequin used for Rogue One. And based on the next image, it is a very safe bet we'll see him in the series like this. So this is the rendering of that right there. The image above is an artist rendering of a huge back. Okay, so this was the actual concept art. This is the back to tank. Okay, so in the image above is an artist rendering of a huge back to tank that was on the Obi-Wan Kenobi set. We have seen the actual photos of the tank and had the render made based on it. We are not sure whether the series will use the mannequin as they did in Rogue One, or if we'll actually see Hayden Christensen in the tank, like Mark Hamill's Luke Skywalker in The Empire Strikes Back. It could be pretty cool and impactful to see Hayden himself as Vader in the tank in a more animated sense than a steamed out mannequin from Rogue One. That really boils down to how deep Deborah Chow wants to develop Vader in the series. Could we see a tormented, pained Vader really seeing what he was going through to survive his current state that Kenobi left him in? That would definitely add some layers to the tragedy of the character that we have only seen on the pages of comic books to this point. Also, Titans prop maker Andrew Speranza from AS Creations was spotted on the Kenobi set, connected to the production, which was interesting. This is an artist rendering we had made based on the photos of the breathing apparatus itself, which was also featured in the concept art. But this item was actually on set. This adds merit to the idea that Hayden Christensen will be wearing it as opposed to the mannequin from Rogue One. The biggest question is, will he wear it beyond the tank? Will we see Vader maskless at some point in Obi-Wan Kenobi to give the audience more live-action Hayden Christensen as Darth Vader? I think that this is very likely. So now that we've given you the facts, why don't we do a little speculating? I believe we will see maskless Vader well beyond the limitations of the back-to-tank or meditation chamber in Obi-Wan Kenobi. Lucasfilm and Kathleen Kennedy understanding the setting and meeting expectations, and you don't bill Hayden Christensen returning for a rematch of the century as Darth Vader if he will only show his face in a brief cameo. There is also the opportunity or the possibility of some flashbacks of Obi-Wan and Anakin, where they will de-age the actors, which would further justify the return of Christensen. But as far as Christensen as Vader goes, I think it is possible to see him fighting Kenobi either unmasked or with a damaged mask revealing his face. Think about the duel with Ahsoka from Rebels. Yes! To make it much more of a personal fight, forcing Obi-Wan to come back to face Anakin for the first time, not hidden behind Vader's mask, will add the emotional weight to the series that could never really that they could never really reach if Vader was in the mask, okay? I'm also going to go back to the reasoning to bring Christensen in to play Vader at all, as it is something they chose not to do for Rogue One. In order to justify Christensen being Vader, they need to give us substantial amount of him unmasked. And I think that's exactly what we are going to see. How much and how they execute it is yet to be determined. But at least with this information we have now, we know we'll be seeing Vader in a different breathing device and using the back-to-tank once again in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. We have another exclusive report coming next week, which ties Vader's role to the series, and we'll keep you updated on the latest. Okay, very cool. Good get by John Huey and by StarWarsNewsNet.com. Okay, so let's get into some speculation, ladies and gentlemen. Pretty wild. Okay, so what do we know about Obi-Wan Kenobi so far? Well, we know it's going to have Vader. We know it's very, very rumored to have Inquisitors. And right now, we think that the plot will revolve around Leia. Something to do with Leia Organa is going to probably take Obi-Wan Kenobi off planet and make him go do something and possibly have some interactions with either the Inquisitors or Vader himself. Again, the rematch of the century, something that they're playing up quite a bit. Now, I definitely think we're going to be getting Hayden Christensen in the armor from the Clone Wars and flashbacks with him and Kenobi and possibly Ahsoka. Would be absolutely insane, but it is on the table as now, yes, Star Wars is really focused on connective tissue to a lot of their other properties and really making that sort of Marvel feeling that everything's connected and seeing the little cameos. They're doing that, we've been talking about it for a long time. I thought that this was going to be really connected to maybe John and Dave's shows and the Filoni-verse, as I call it, but it now seems as though it's going to permeate throughout all of the Star Wars content that they're going to make, especially the content on Disney+. There's so much going on with Star Wars behind the scenes, and I think as we get closer to the Book of Boba Fett and then possibly, towards Mando 3, there's going to be even more stuff to talk about. But I'm just telling you guys, there's big, big plans, things that they are tying together, and I think it is freaking awesome. I have also heard that if Hayden Christensen is very well received in this show, that we're going to get much more Hayden in other projects moving forward. There's a possibility of an Inquisitor show. I've even heard maybe even a Vader show or something like that, or at least having Vader and Hayden Christensen pop up in more stuff that happens on Disney+. Now, as far as the back-to-tank and all of that sort of stuff, this is dope. Very cool. I'm excited that we're going to be seeing him like this, but I have a feeling that we might get something like what they do with Iron Man in the MCU. And they have Tony, even though he's in that helmet, they put a shot in there that is sort of like looking at him inside the helmet, right? And I think we could do a lot of that with Hayden Christensen, even with some of those masks and different things like that. You could make shots like they do to Iron Man in the MCU for Vader and show a ton of Hayden's expressions, Sith eyes, anger, and different things like that. And I also think it's possible they're going to do some interacting via the Force, some meditation type stuff, some crazy Force Skyping stuff. And I know The fans are sort of mixed on this. There are some people out there that don't want to see them fight. There are some people that don't think they should fight, that don't think Obi-Wan's going to leave the planet. I am personally at a place where I want them to just go crazy and have a ton of fun with this stuff and not be so constrained by the canon and things like that. So I don't know, man. I'm here for it. I've heard this show's going to be nuts. I've heard you might even get more Hayden Christensen coming back if this thing works, and I think it will. I have a lot of faith in Deborah Chow. I'm very excited about Obi-Wan Kenobi, but I'm also just excited about the future of Star Wars, especially on Disney+. You know, just watch the Mandalorian gallery thing talking about the Luke Skywalker thing. It was so cool, and I see little hints, even in that gallery episode, of them talking about bringing Luke Skywalker back and possibly doing some big Heir to the Empire type stuff. So I'm very excited, but there you have it, guys. The first look at Vader in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series and some details about what he will be doing. Let me know your thoughts about this, of course. Like this video if you like this content, and subscribe to the channel to get more of our stuff in your recommended. We're covering all the crazy nerdy things out there, man, and go over to the live streaming channel where I'm sure we'll be talking about this very, very soon. It's always a good time over there. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.